Timestamp. March 11th, 2026, about 4 a.m. I've been up half an hour to an hour. I don't know. In the Pluto news, went to bed during Day of the Dove. Interesting. Enterprise versus Klingons. And yes, the Klingons, that we don't talk about that. Interesting episode, amusing. Woke up to Ellen of Troyes, which is one of those episodes that back in the day. Alright, so Channel 44 in Tampa used to play reruns of Star Trek about every weekday. Back in the old days. And I want to say it was on at like 5 o'clock p.m. I think at one point it was on at 3 p.m., which I didn't like because I wasn't quite home from school yet. Because again, I'll watch the reruns all the time, I don't care. And then they'd also usually have a Saturday at 11. It was like on right before Kung Fu, right before Creature Feature. Creature Feature. Dr. Paul Bearer. Yeah, welcome to Gen X. It was the Dr. Demento, Elvira type show that we had here in Hillsborough County on Saturday afternoons. And the host was Dr. Paul Bearer. And he had I mentioned this before, but for those of you who didn't see that one, he had all the gimmick products, I start my day with Mr. Coffin, that kind of stuff, wacky product kind of stuff. But he was gaunt, creepy, scary old man with almost a Dracula meets Mortician kind of vibe. Met him, he was pretty cool. Met him at a car dealership promotion, because a lot of your local celebrities used to do that kind of stuff back in the day. It was like at Ernie Hare Ford or something like that. Real place, look it up. Yeah, there's one down here called Brandon Ford, because it's in Brandon. There's a city, Brandon. I feel bad for anybody with that name that moves down here, just because it would be confusing as hell. What's your name? Brandon Ford? It's just a thing. I don't know. My brain goes there, because I hear the commercials for Brandon Ford, and I'm like, there are probably people with that name. Not too weird a last name, kind of cool, trendy first name. Yeah, there's probably some Brandon Fords out there. But yeah, Ellen of Troyes, that was an episode that they just didn't run that often. I think they did kind of pick and choose a little bit. I know they all did get showed, maybe I'm wrong on this, but there were like 5 or 10 episodes that they're just not as popular, so I think they got played like once a year. You know what I mean? Like Trouble with Tribbles, that'll get shown once a month. The third Thursday is Tribbles Day, that kind of thing. Arena, well, that's got to get shown once a month. Not to the extreme that the Roku Doctor Who was doing, where it was nothing but like the Key to Time channel, but playing all 6 episodes every day, all day. That's the thing. I haven't checked the Roku. I'm enjoying the Trek for the moment. It's kind of a break from the Tom Baker channel, which is still not a hardship, but I don't know if Roku is functioning correctly. We had a power blip the other day, so it backed me out of all the different things on the TV. So going back into Pluto, because I'm like, let's just go with what I know for the moment. It did show the Roku Doctor Who, and it was either Pertwee or Baker, I can't remember which one it was, but I remember seeing that they had it listed as though it was showing. So it might be up and running, and I'll probably flip back to Roku in a couple days just to, get back there, having gone through the original Trek series like 2 or 3 times at that point. Which again, these are not hardships, because one of my favorite radio stations going on in the background. Oh no, not that. It was funny too, because my friend, when I explained it that way, she was like, "Oh yeah." It's like, it's so weird that you do that. You listen to a radio station while you work? Well, yeah, but that's different. Ooh, it's not different for you. No, it's not different for you. Nope. Nope. No different. No, there's no different. Only different in your mind. Yeah, I can go there. And I'm still not AI. I am just that weird. Yeah, I woke up to chaos and mayhem here in the kitchen that I'm a little pissed about. Alright, I pay like $15 for these. It looks like it's not broken, which is good because I would have to hurt someone. But I get these Rubbermaid cereal containers. I don't get them like on a constant basis. I have enough to work with. And but why is it on the counter like that? Good question. I've used, bear in mind we're in Florida, so we are in not quite the American version of Australia, but we have lots of creepy crawlies here. Lots of creepy crawlies. I remember when we moved down from Pennsylvania years ago, we discovered all kinds of insect life that we didn't know existed, which my mom did not enjoy. Palmetto bugs and things like that. It was just like, what are these things? So, 55-year-old dude who's lived on his own, been a bachelor, worked, college student, all that kind of stuff. Didn't have a silver spoon, up there. You learn the hard way. You buy things, find out they don't work. As they say in Hollywood, you jettison that idea and you restart. You try something else. It is real easy to get cereal containers that can be breached easily. Exactly. That's exactly what happens to your cereal. When you wake up in the morning and it's, Lucky Charms with ants. And you didn't order that. So, having been through the gamut of products that don't work, I need sponsorships. I don't really care about that. It's just like I keep plugging products because what the hell? I'm an ad channel. Those Rubbermaid containers are usually like $15, which for a plastic Tupperware-ish kind of container is kind of. But I won't buy anything else anymore. I won't, because everything else gets breached, or they're so flimsy they break like real easy. Now I'm very happy with this guy, but I'm pissed at my kid. Because it looks like it sustained the impact. What impact, you say? So I got up, and I thought I had heard like a plastic kind of crash in the middle of the night, but I was sleeping. But I typically hear everything and at least log it. If I had heard glass break or something like that, I probably would have gotten up and grabbed one of my dad's pew-pews that I have handy. That's we found a half dozen pew-pews. Yes. 80-something paranoid man with dementia, hallucinating, and he's got pew-pews and bags of bullets hidden everywhere throughout the house. What could go wrong? I'm so glad the court actually listened to me. We had so many places over the past 2 years that were like, he's fine. It's like, no, you don't know. Um, it's funny. One of my friends the other day, we were talking about this stuff, and she was like, "Do you think that you saved a life or two in doing what you did?" I'm like, well, I know I saved my dad's for what it's worth, because being here alone, knowing that Mom wasn't coming home, he would have taken care of his own business. So I know I saved his life, whether he hates me for it or not. Did I save the life of the bag boy at Publix, or the clerk at the 7-Eleven? Maybe. Maybe, because with my dad, you don't know. But anyway, cereal container. Apparently, Alex was getting bread off the top of the fridge and missed, because we have the cereal containers in a row across the top of the fridge and the bread like in front of it, and there was a cascade of chaos. So Acorn thought it was really cool, didn't you? So back in the day, they're I don't even know what, I have them in my cart in my folder at Walmart. Back in the day, they were Sugar Smacks, and you had the like little frog mascot. I think he's turned into a bear, Honey Crisp, or whatever. I don't know. It's these guys. They almost look like little coffee beans, but they're caramelized. But I've made my kids try new things because that's healthy, and they actually revel in it, which is cool. They don't, oh no, I just want to stay with the tried and true. They're into the whole, let's try something new. Tiny has discovered that cereal and is like, I love this cereal. It's like, I don't feel, bloated and weird if I have a couple bowls. It has a really great taste. I really like it, so I've been trying to keep it in, because when your kids have something they like, you try. I'd like to think if you're a good parent, you actually try and get what your kids want. So there's probably half a container, and these are big. You can fit one of the big bags of cereal in here. If it's empty, you can't, like, if it's half full, you're not going to fit a whole bag in there. The big, like, bulk bags is how I get my cereal. It's cheaper that way. But, probably half a container hit the floor. So, and I was too angry, still waking up, to film it. It was just a sea of that cereal across the floor. And it was like, and I saw the container on the counter on its side, the lid on the floor, and I'm just like, if the container's on the bar, clearly a human picked it up and put it there. Why did we fix 1/3 of the problem and walk away? So I'm a little pissed about that. The fact that it fell, that was carelessness. That annoys me. Wasted food, that annoys me. I mean, wasted to a degree. Acorn, I don't want to, because he's come a long way. Because he saw what was all over the floor and kind of looked at me and then sat. And I was like, you're actually waiting for the okay. Cool. Good. Because I did train him, I don't know that I could put a pizza on the floor and him, like, because I've seen some dogs that you can put a pizza on the floor and they won't touch it until you say anything. I don't trust him that far. But, he was kind of sitting, like, pretending to ignore it. And I'm like, go ahead, clean this up for me. And he looked and kind of was like, oh, I'm like, go, do it. And he started vacuuming for me, which was nice of him, because it saved me from brooming, and at the same time, that was a hell of a cookie. He probably had a couple bowls of cereal right there. No milk, but hey, I'm not going to pour milk on the floor just for him. I have my limits. But yeah, I found a big mound of it in the trash can, so it was almost swept-ish, kinda, not really. I mean, Alex is autistic, and I understand that, but he's high-functioning autistic. So we got to work on the whole, and there were like other things knocked over in here too. We got to work on the problem solving. I'm going to try and streamline his world to where it's, so that when mom and I are gone, some of his basics are taken care of and he doesn't have to worry too much. But, it's kind of that whole, I'm not wiping your ass for you. You can handle this, We're going to have to do the equivalent of some tough love kind of stuff. Not what I wanted to wake up to. Crunching across the floor to a coffee pot that's empty. Tannhauser. Come on, Logan. I'm like 16 minutes into my video. You're way late. The big guy came in like 10 minutes before that. I'm going to step over you. Now, Acorn. Thank you. What do we got? You ready for this? Good job. Oh, now you're going to get up and move? Thank you so much, sir. So Alex went to make coffee, and I saw him pull out the Donut Shop blend and the Cameron Sea Salt caramel. And over here trying to get my head and my ass, wired together. And I saw both bags come out of the cabinet. I was like, what you doing? I'm making coffee. I'm like, great, pick one. Oh, you don't want me to? No, I don't. No, I do not. Pick one. Which one do you want? Don't care. Pick one. I'm going to make the sea salt caramel. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Not doing it anymore. Not doing it. Using the Foolish Mortal mug for day 2. It's a good 20 ounce. I love the stoneware look. That's a good color for a Haunted Mansion mug. You got the gargoyle logo with the Foolish Mortal. Yeah, I'm digging this. It was only like $10. Exactly. Oh, and Pix saw the mug. She came over, and she was like, ooh. She's a Haunted Mansion fan too. Not nearly as obsessed as I am. But I'm like, you got a couple mugs too. She was like, oh, did I? And she's got 2 Hocus Pocus mugs over there. She's got the cauldron, and it's another beautiful morning. How revolting or whatever. It's funny. And there's another one. It's a blue. Oh, I want to show you. I'm going to describe something that's visual. I've been to all the best schools. Out of the way, Peck. So, tonight we fly, and I knew she'd like it because it has an almost Bewitched logo style going on with it, which is kind of fabulous. Oh, there we are. Oh look, another glorious morning makes me sick. Yep. Winifred. Actually, a really good motivational speaker. Yeah. She did a bunch of shows with Tony Robbins, I think, back in the 90s. Yeah, 1890s. Sold out many barns. But yeah, there was oohing and awing, and she was like, Oh, like, yeah, I got you. The Cauldron one I could only get through Hallmark. It's like a Hallmark exclusive. So again, why am I not getting sponsorships? I know why. You have to have this many viewers and all that kind of stuff, and I'm not. It's not like, oh God, my life, I must have sponsorships. It's just funny to me because I wind up like pitching products almost. Um, but I'm excited about some things, and I love sharing it, and it's just I'm just making conversation, man. But yeah, if you want them, I think the only place you can get them is Hallmark. I looked around, and every road led me back to Hallmark. It's like, okay, it's a little annoying. Looks like a good product, but it's kind of annoying. It's the only place I can get it, but that's what exclusives are, isn't it? The other one I got when I got the Haunted Mansion when it was like $10 on Amazon. Again, Disney was like running a special on some of their mugs and stuff. A lot of good stuff, but not a lot that I was like, I must have that, she must have that. But those two, I was like, oh yes, no, she, order. Why are we even talking about this? That has to happen, you know. Hex, please stop making a mess over there, man. Got some, like, bubble wrap scrap and whatnot that he has found on top of a tote that is the best bedding in the world. Yeah, and again, woke up, Ellen of Troy is on TV, which, okay, cool. It's not my favorite episode. It's decent though. I mean, I don't. There's no. There is no classic Trek episode that I will actually like. That reviles me. You know what I mean? There are a couple that are eye rolling episodes for me. Turnabout Intruder is one of those ones where it's like, okay. William Shatner pretending he's possessed, essentially by a jealous female rival that he knew 20 years ago. It's like him overacting the shit out of that. It's just like, wow, okay. Almost hard to watch, but at the same time, if you look at it comically, it's like, okay, this is forgivable just because, yeah, okay, show me, Bill. Wow, okay. Yeah, no, it's perfect. I love it. And cut. It's a little frightening. When actors are accidentally funny. This is me dissing on Star Trek. Take note. But yeah, it's like, wow. That's good coffee. Because it's only one type of coffee, and it's a good coffee. Yeah, so, yeah, did some running around yesterday. Nothing major. Post office. We did go to Aldi later. One of the young people there, he seems like a nice kid, but also just from this 55-year-old dude's standpoint, older people, they can become out of touch with the way the world really spins. This kid's 20-something, and I don't know that he's ever been in touch. You know what I mean? Just a certain naivete. Just not really catching on to pop culture references. Just, I'm not sure if he escaped or what happened, but I mean, I'm happy for him. But yeah, no, he's just kind of like, I can't explain it. Well, I'm explaining it, I guess, but I can't explain it just not well. sang to my wife, but I did it in the parking lot so I didn't get hit or there was no embarrassment. We're on the, we pulled the cart to the trunk of the car. We've got all of our bags and stuff in the trunk, and we usually disseminate because some stuff's going home with her, some stuff's going home with me. You know, we kind of figure it out from there. Cold bags, other bags, you know. If you shop at Aldi, you understand how that works. So we pulled it up. She pops the trunk, and we just stare at the cart and I was just like, oh, what a circus. Oh, what a show. The cart is thrown together with things by a kid who doesn't know who George Carlin was. It looks so crazy. And she's just like, she starts laughing and she's like, I know that song, but I don't know that song. She's like, you changed the words of something. What the fuck is that? I'm like, Oda Circus from Evita. And she's like, okay, yeah. But yeah, the kid had bottles of creamer, jars of like pickles and stuff, and just like, bip, boom, bip, boom. We're like, and Pix is very OCD. She's very OCD. So she's in there like Lucy at the candy factory, like trying to like move things around, take the bread out from underneath the jar that's plummeting towards it, you know, put it in the child's seat. Don't crush my tomatoes, you know. Just want you, seriously. I think I even said when she was about halfway, we were about halfway through, I'm like, Lucy, you're doing great. And she's like, shut up. Oh, Lucy, you're doing great, man. You're such a good job. Oh, no, Lucy, no. What happened to the bread? Man, my Ricky's okay. I know it's not great. Tanner's looking at me like I'm an alien. Oh yeah, maybe I think you're an alien. Yeah. I get that look from my kids all the time. Actually, I used to. I don't really anymore. They're just like, Dad. They become used to it. Yeah. It's just how it is. Still not AI. Yeah, I've seen a bunch more AI slop. A lot of absolutely incorrect information floating around on YouTube assembled by AI, and I'm guessing some propaganda networks. Just ridiculous stuff. Get your news from sources that you actually trust. Some of these random AI videos that I'm seeing popping up on YouTube, I'm like, oh my god, there's so much misinformation here. Half this stuff is not actually even remotely accurate, and people are probably seeing it and going, yeah man, now I'm angry. Don't get angry because you're getting angry over a lie. There's enough truth out there to get angry about. Don't get angry about stuff that isn't true. There's enough truth out there to get you angry. Oh yeah. There's a lot of that. Hey Janus. Okay, we'll talk later. Yeah. I wanted to get a couple of packages. I'm going to open this one. I don't even know which one it is. Next, please don't redecorate. What are you? Please remember to leave your feedback. Oh. God, I've lost the camera. Oh, you sexy things. I saw these on eBay a while back, loose, and I wasn't sure what the hell they were. They definitely had a Funko look to them, but I wasn't sure really what they were. So I took a picture of the picture with my Google Lens. I love that app. And it pulled up exactly what they were immediately. And these are a Funko. Is it a mini? What do you guys call them? Mini vinyl, I guess. We're not really going to say on here. We're just going to... So it's a Funko mini vinyl. I'm watching a couple that are loose that are really cheap. This was actually really cheap. I got all three for like $30 round trip. But this is one of those things that I might actually keep a set in box if I don't come up with loose ones. Otherwise, I'm going to pull these out. So that was Ezra. This is Phineas. And of course, my favorite, the myth, the legend, Gus. But they did like mini vinyls of the Hitchhikers, and they did other ones too, but this is what I care about. But they did like Leota and Hattie and stuff like that too. These are... Ooh, sorry. Knocking over some of my guys. So McQuarrie's about a 4-inch figure. So they're probably 2.5-ish. Probably 2.5. Well, he is. You should be taller if they're scaling it. You're a little bit taller, but not much. And Ezra should be even taller, and he is. Okay, so Ezra's probably more like 3 inches. Technically, they made Gus way tall compared to the other two, but then you lose detail when you make something really small, right? But yeah, again, I saw a loose set for like $35, and I immediately watched it because I was like, what are these? These are beautiful. I've never seen these before. And then I had a moment of clarity, and before I pressed the button on it, I said, wait a minute, what am I looking at? I don't even know what this is. Google Lens, found out it was a Funko mini vinyl, and found 100 listings. And it was a guy that had all three. I want to say I paid like $28 round trip, like with shipping, all three figures like $28 in box. I was like, it was the cheapest one I found. I'm like, I'm gonna get this, and then I'm gonna continue. I'm not gonna watch the $35 one because that's actually overpriced now that I've compared. Because I can get it in box for that price. What am I doing? Not that I exactly care, but why would I pay more? You know what I mean? They may be damaged, scuffed up, whatnot. If I'm going to open them, because I'm just going to use them for display or, me and small toys. It's a thing. But I've got a couple of groups of those, and there's another lot that has like Leota, Hattie. I think it has the Mummy. I think there's somebody else in there too. Master Gracie? There's somebody else in there in the lot that I was like, ooh. But mixed loose lot that I might pick up and just keep those in box. I'm kind of getting away from that, but this is the kind of thing that if we had a nicer display in wherever we land, this is the kind of thing that I would put in the display. Because I've got some like Puppet Master puppets that are 1/1 scale, like 6-gun blade. I'm a big fan of the Puppet Master Full Moon series, but I picked up a couple of my favorite ones. Jester, I love Jester. I think I have Torch also. I think. If you know what I'm talking about, cool. If you don't, it's okay. But Full Moon Pictures did a series called Puppet Master, and they're just amusing, and I love the puppets. They're just beautiful little pieces of work. And they actually did do like a 1/1 scale of some of the guys. I shouldn't be sexist like that, because I think they also did Leech, and Again, if you know, you know. Um, but yeah, I mean, there are some things that when we do finally land and set up, you know, our final home, as it were, um, that we will have like in display cases and stuff like that. We're just not going out of our way to pick up things like that and or getting excessive. And some of the stuff that we thought we'd want to display later on, like my girl might want to display her 1978 Alien in a case like that, which I would totally understand. You know, big old 2 foot tall xenomorph from 1978, 79 Kenner. You know, that's the kind of thing that, yeah, put that in a glass case. That's pretty cool. You know, as conversation pieces go, that's pretty cool. You know, I've got a Freddy Krueger glove autographed by Robert Englund, you know, on a very fancy little wood stand. You know, that, yeah, it's going in a display case. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, you better believe I have something like that. You scared the hell out of me as a kid. Um, my girl's got Halloween, I've got Nightmare on Elm Street. But as a kid, I had extreme nightmares and night terrors and stuff like that. So that movie hit really hard with me, like visceral, I get it. You're speaking my language, and I wish you were mute. But I love it because of it, because it was able to like tap into that fear center. I'm weird, I know. But yeah, that's the kind of thing that if I still got an inbox that I would. Because there will probably be a window or two in the case that are like Haunted Mansion stuff. Because, yeah, who am I again? So I'm going to keep watching some of the loose lots and see if the price gets crazy stupid, because I may grab one. If not, maybe I'll open it. I don't know yet. But the price was really good, and I'm like, this is, man, these are sexy. These are pretty. I like these. Because I love like smaller action figures and PVCs. I am a fan. And that's why I like the Disney Doorables. You know, they're a fun little collectible. It's Thomas O'Malley. Aristocats. In case you don't know. You probably knew, but in case you didn't. I'm gonna have some breakfast. Just gonna pour some milk on the floor and lick my way over to the garage door. Yeah. Morning. So, going over my list right now, just trying to, again, get myself wired. Working on a Walmart list. We went to Aldi, but I'm also, basically whatever I'm not able to get at Aldi, I then follow up with a Walmart order to fill the holes. It's kind of my tactic, is how I do it. But Aldi first, then Walmart is my fallback. And then, don't get it. That's plan 3. So, yeah, hug your parents, hug your kids, try and get your bricks, work your list, make it a great day.